Are you a Micro Machines collector disappointed with the new releases? Or would you like to see more movie vehicles in micro scale so you can play with your micro cities? If you answer yes to one or both of these questions, I would recommend you to watch this video, because today in JR Models we have a Jada Nano Hollywood Rides unboxing. That was a mouthful. Hello collectors and welcome back to the channel. My name is JR and today I would like to unbox with you 3 sets that Jada recently released. When I say recently, I mean they were released in 2020 and not 25 years ago like other sets that I have shown you. I want to show you the Back to the Future, the Transformers The Last Night, and Batman Returns. These sets are more or less the same size than Micro Machines, with the difference that the vehicles made by Jada are die-cast metal. I will also make some comparisons with other micro vehicles from other brands, so you can see if there's any difference with the sizes or the details. But enough talking, let's get into it. These time machines represent how the DeLorean looked in each movie. The one from the first movie is the classic time machine first introduced to the audience. The engine is the most important part here, because there's no Mr. Fusion, at least not yet. For the part 2, the mold of the casting is the same, but there are some differences, like the tires. You can see that these are already flipped to replicate the hover mold shown in the second movie. And there's this kind of blue conduit surrounding the car, and the engine has already the Mr. Fusion on the top. Below the car there's some tires, so you can move it around. And for the part 3, you see the rail wheels, vacuum tubes in the hood, and there's some kind of front grid piece below the car. If you remember, this is the car that is pushed by the train in order to reach the speed required to travel in time. By the way, if you want to watch the unboxing of that train, go to watch the video that I have in the top right corner. Let's go back. I would also like to compare the models to one time machine released by Funrace in 1989. Here, as you can see, the model is a bit more funky, and this one is made out of plastic. I think Jada made a better job giving some realistic proportions to the model. However, I think that the Funrace have a little bit more details in the front and in the back of the car. Let's go for the number 2. Instead, we have one Optimus Prime and two Bumblebees, and they are supposed to represent the characters in the vehicle form, as you saw them in the movie Transformer The Last Night from 2017. This version of the Optimus is the 2014 Western Star 5700 custom semi-trailer truck. Wow, that's a long name. The paint job is quite decent given the scale. Those red flames are nice, and it has this blue color looking a little like the Spectra flame paint from the Hot Wheels. At least that's what it looks like for me. The first Bumblebee is the 2016 Chevrolet Camaro. It has some bodywork to replicate the model as it's seen in the movie. The front spoiler looks a bit out of proportion, but it has a nice metallic yellow paint and this matte black color in the top. You see some detailed taillights. You can see the Chevrolet logo in the front and a big Autobots logo on the sides that it's not from the movie, but I think that they just added here to represent the brand. And then the second Bumblebee is the 1977 Chevy Camaro, shown in the first Transformer movie in 2007. And this one is supposed to have some damaged paint in the sides. That's why, because it's an old Camaro, if you remember. But it has a really detailed front grille and also headlights and the bumper. The only thing that I'm missing is in the back, it doesn't have the taillights. Just to remind you, all these models are die-cast metal and their wheels roll just fine. And to make a quick comparison, I'll show you Optimus and the latest semi-truck from Jazzwares, released in the same year, 2020. I cannot remove the trailer from this Jazzware model, so that's why I'm showing it to you like this. The scale is similar, but of course Optimus is based on a real trailer, so it looks more realistic. And this one looks a bit like taken out from a futuristic film. Let's go for the last one today. This set is from Batman Returns movie from 1992. It was released 28 years after the premiere of the movie. The Penguin Dog is this weird all-terrain vehicle shown in the movie. It has 6 wheels and is capable of floating. In this version, only 4 wheels actually work. The other 2 are just for representation. Then we have the Penguin Ride, which for me, to be honest, it's a bit unnecessary. It's representing this mini Batimobile that the Penguin was using to remote control the real Batimobile in the movie. But in my opinion, it would be better if they added the Bat Ski Boat instead of this one. And I left the Batmobile at the end because, well, it's the legendary one. And this version is fully black with no details on. What am I saying about the details on? Because I have these other 2 versions of the Batmobile, one released by ETRL in 1989 as well, and another released by Microverse in 1996. The ETRL has the painted headlights and a Batman logo on the top that should not be there. And we have this bigger version from Microverse that has an open cockpit and detailed wheels and headlights as well. Regarding size, the Jada and the ETRL are similar, but the Microverse was a bit bigger. And just to mention, the ETRL and the Microverse are plastic. I just showed you 3 of the 6 sets that Jada released in the 2020. If you would like to see the other 3, please consider subscribing to the channel because I will be posting them next week. If you are still here, I will also ask you to give a like to the video because that will help me a lot. If you are still in the mood for seeing some micro vehicles, I have some micro machines for you here. if you would like to see something different like Hot Wheels, I also have something for you here. That's all for today. Thanks for checking this one. Adiós.